It's March 21st, 2019. Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Tony, and what an interesting day. I know I put out a couple things out on social media about new content and kind of just getting some ideas of where I want to take the channel, and the good news is I do hear you. We got a lot of stuff in the works on the channel, so I thank you guys for reaching out and just kind of spreading some love and giving some ideas. But with that being said, today we got some All Elite Wrestling news because honestly, not too much is going on in the WWE, and I'm really excited about this. Honestly, I think a lot of people don't realize how incredible today's news is, because I think this is bridging the gap in pro wrestling. If you don't know what I'm talking about, AEW signed Allie from Impact Wrestling, and this is actually a really big deal because Allie's contract situation with Impact is kind of interesting. She's been featured prominently throughout Impact Wrestling TV, but she's not currently in a contract with Impact Wrestling. So an Impact Wrestling star is going to AEW, and I want to tell you guys why this matters. One, the women's division, it's not as strong as Impact or WWE, but the reason that it's not as strong is because AEW is bringing in a lot of female talent. Even though they may be internationally known, they don't have a lot of big names from America. And I know that right there might spark a big conversation in the comment section, but it is true in the sense that there is a lot of names. They're good names and they're big on the independent scene, but as far as television experience goes, Allie is going to be by far one of the ones that is most commonly known for anybody who watches Impact. So I like AEW's women division. I think their female division is going to be a really good one. And as somebody who's going to Double or Nothing, I look forward to this surgence of female talent because honestly, women's wrestling is at its best in 2019. I think with WWE and Impact and ROH and all these companies, they got something to offer, and Allie kind of fits the mold. Now, what was really interesting about Allie coming to AEW, Allie had done a really good job going into Impact Wrestling and being an entertainer, which is very interesting because Impact Wrestling was starting to change a huge amount in regards to their content. They were becoming more story-based, and I think Allie played that role really good. Now, a lot of people didn't know that Allie also competed as a indie star, outside of Impact. And a lot of people didn't know that before she was Allie, she had a different persona. And one of the nice things about this, of her going to AEW, is I feel like we're going to get a mixture of both. I think we're going to get a little bit of that exciting, storytelling. Possibly, I would love nothing more than for her to bring the dark Allie character to AEW. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, especially with like all the contracts and stuff like that. But I do think it would be a very unique move. But me personally, I think she could do a lot, and she's a very talented performer. And I think AEW is looking at building this women's division. And right now, they're not bringing former WWE divas or anything like that. And I think that's a really, really good thing. But this kind of opens the doors, in my opinion, to what I think could be big. And what I'm talking about, like, when I talk about opening these doors, I think what's the big picture here is AEW bringing on talented female performers that may not be as famous as some of these other promotions, but they're going to build them up and do a good job of that. Now, a lot of that obviously has to do with AEW's production value and how they plan to tell stories creatively, but it's a solid move by AEW, especially when you consider that Allie has years of experience. I think I read online she's been wrestling for about 14 years, and this is a big break. Allie was somebody I thought that could have been WWE bound, especially with how big the NXT women's division needed to improve, because for those who don't know, and I should make this clear, WWE has a great, phenomenal women's division in NXT. But with that, they're going to have to move some of these people up, which there needs to be a new wave. So the girls like Bianca Belair and Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, like, these people are going to have to go to the main roster. You're going to need some more talent in NXT. I felt like Allie would have been the perfect person to go to NXT, lead the women's division on NXT, and then obviously get her chance on the main roster. But it looks like that's not going to happen, and that's not a bad thing. honestly, I think it's a really good thing for AEW to make this happen. For those who don't know, right now the total roster count for AEW is about 34 total names. So it's a little bit more light in a sense of how many people are actually signed to this company. But without overhyping AEW, I have to say this is a strong move. And for some of the reasons I mentioned earlier, that's obviously important for you guys to know. But Allie has a lot of years of experience, and she's going to bring, I think, in a really good way, I think she's going to bring some excitement to AEW, because AEW is going to be more sport-centric. With it being more sport-centric, I think the production value, obviously, it's really going to depend on how the TV is being presented, but I think they get somebody who's not only a good wrestler and a good athlete, but they're also going to get somebody who is really strong with, storytelling and stuff like that. And I don't know. I would love to see AEW bring in the Dark Alley character. And one of the things I kind of didn't mention, if you made it to this point in the video, congratulations. I appreciate you, because one of the things that I really want to elaborate some time on is whether or not AEW is going to work with Impact Wrestling. And this could be a good situation for AEW, because AEW is a new company. They're going to need to get off the ground, and it's not going to be easy. I don't care how big the Elite is. It's not going to be easy, because at the same time, while you want to cater to that niche, you're also going to want to cater to the mainstream appeal. And somebody like Allie has the skill level to bring that to the female division, which is exactly what they need to get people talking. And then, of course, maybe this is a signing that bridges the gap that is so incredibly important in pro wrestling, because if you think about it, I mean, she's going to need to be featured on the show, right? And when you have somebody like her and Britt Baker, they're great talent, but they don't carry the same name as like Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, that type of thing. But in a sense, this could be AEW building them up and then basically saying, listen, we're willing to work with more companies. There's companies like Shimmer, there's companies like Impact, Ring of Honor, and these companies all have some great female talent. Obviously, Shimmer is all female talent, and that's like a wonderful thing, right? Like, I'm hoping this signing basically brings these companies together and say, listen, like, the women of the future in pro wrestling have a big chance to succeed, and a lot of that is going to be if we work together. And what a good way to make women's wrestling seem like a big deal when you have some of the best companies working together, bringing them in a positive light. Especially with this women's division, one thing that I've noticed very, very strongly, like, it's something that's become pretty apparent to me. The women's division is also a lot lighter in terms of how many females are signed to AEW. So the more signings, the better. But again, this is a solid pickup for AEW, and I'm really excited to see what they do. They announced this signing on Double or Nothing, the Road to Double or Nothing, their YouTube series. So I'm excited. I think she's really, really good talent. I was honestly shocked, because AEW kept teasing that they were bringing a female talent onto the show, and they were going to sign somebody, but I would have never guessed it was an Impact star, especially with the whole contract situation. Apparently, she's been out of contract for about 2 months or so. That was something that I read online, but hopefully she gets to continue working for Impact. I think that would be a really interesting thing. Everything that they've done with her and Su Yung just shows that women's wrestling could be very intriguing, and especially with Impact having some great female talent. Especially girls like Tessa Blanchard. Like, the wrestling industry needs this, okay? Like, the wrestling industry needs to see Tessa Blanchard. And Impact is... Look at that. ESPN alerting me. Probably some more wrestling stuff, because ESPN's been covering a lot of pro wrestling. A lot of people forget that. But I digress. One of the things that we just have to remember, girls like Tessa Blanchard, they're really good. I would say Tessa's like one of the best female talents pretty much in the industry at this point. And Impact holds her, to the company. And, for those who don't watch Women's of Wrestling on Access TV, like, this is another thing that you guys should know. There's a lot of female talent out there. AEW is not going to be able to do it alone. Maybe this is a way for AEW to build a relationship with Impact. And I think that could be a really strong move as well. Yeah, so I kind of want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, this is a solid move in my opinion. If you guys disagree, that's totally cool. Tell me why. And for more pro wrestling news coverage, oh my gosh, guys, we're doing WWE 2K. We got Fire Pro Wrestling. We got so much stuff happening on the channel. I'm really excited about it because I definitely want to do more than just these news videos, and I feel like it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. I'm just working on getting some ideas out and stuff like that. And also just want to take another second to let you guys know that we did create a Facebook page. A lot of people are interacting in the comment section. If you guys like Facebook, if you're on Facebook, I'll put the link in the description down below. And let us know what you guys think. So with that being said, my name is Tony from Destination Pro Wrestling. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Tango with Tango. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and enjoy your night.